I've got a message for you, and you're not going to like it.
Look at his chest.
Ready for death.
Prince of Darkness, 20 Secrets They Tried to Keep Buried. It looked like another cult horror flick. Strange green cylinders, robed scientists, and a preacher warning of unstoppable evil. But behind the camera, Prince of Darkness was pure chaos. John Carpenter chased cosmic terror, the studio demanded cheap scares, and the cast wrestled with improvised lines and bizarre technical mishaps. Rewrites, mysterious accidents, and on-set panic almost buried the film before it hit theaters. Today, we're digging up 20 shocking secrets that the makers desperately tried to hide from the world. Shocking Secret 1: The Dark Crown. No one knew existed. Few fans realized that the central evil crown in Prince of Darkness almost didn't exist at all. The original design was far more dangerous, intended to emit real chemical smoke and eerie flickering lights that could have caused actual injuries on set. Producers panicked at the thought of lawsuits or worse, insisting the effects be dialed back. But John Carpenter, driven by his vision of an ominous, otherworldly artifact, refused to compromise. The crown's aura of menace was meticulously crafted with intricate details and a sense of ancient evil that could almost breathe on its own. The smoke may have been toned down, but the crown still radiates a chilling presence in every frame, setting the tone for the film's creeping dread. Actors admitted feeling unnerved just standing near it, and the audience senses that same terror today. The iconic crown almost sparked real danger behind the scenes. Shocking Secret 2: The shocking reason he refused the lead role. Before filming even began, one of the key actors, already a rising star, flatly refused the lead role. He claimed the story was too dark and worried it could permanently harm his career. Whispers on set suggested he demanded script rewrites or complete changes to the character, creating tension among producers and cast alike. Carpenter and the production team were shocked, as this actor had the charisma they needed to anchor the film. Ultimately, the producers moved forward without him, and a new actor took the reins, bringing an energy that was raw, unpredictable, and chilling. Ironically, the refusal added a layer of suspense behind the camera. The remaining cast knew they were part of something risky and volatile, and that electricity seeped into the performances, giving the movie a pulse of real-world fear. Fear nearly cost the movie its lead, changing the course of production. Shocking Secret 3: Hollywood forced a white actor and regretted it. Despite Carpenter's vision for a tight-knit ensemble, the studio insisted on including a white actor in a prominent role. Their reasoning was simple: appeal to mainstream audiences. Carpenter reluctantly agreed, though he privately warned that the character was unnecessary. On set, tension brewed as the actor clashed with the cast's rhythm and the film's eerie atmosphere. Surprisingly, his performance, originally meant to be forgettable, ended up standing out. His unnerving energy created an odd contrast to the otherworldly cast, intensifying the horror and adding a subtle layer of unintended irony. What started as a studio-imposed compromise became one of the film's most hauntingly memorable characters, proving that even forced decisions can sometimes create cinematic magic. Fans today still point to his scenes as moments of unpredictable tension. A forced casting choice became a horror highlight instead. Shocking Secret 4: The sidekick who quit a hit show for this Arsenio Hall, already famous for a hit television comedy, walked away from a secure and lucrative role to dive headfirst into this horror production. His colleagues and fans were stunned, questioning why he would abandon comfort and fame for a risky movie. On set, Hall transformed completely, moving between multiple roles: comic relief, unnerving sidekick, and bizarre background characters, each performed with unsettling precision. His chemistry with the cast amplified the film's eerie tone, making even humorous moments feel slightly dangerous. Hall later admitted that leaving his sitcom was terrifying, but it allowed him to explore a range of characters he could never play on television. That leap of faith not only elevated the movie, but also cemented Hall as a versatile actor capable of both comedy and genuine horror. Quitting a hit show launched one of horror's most versatile on-screen presences. Shocking Secret 5: The set that nearly got sued into oblivion. The church interior was designed to feel like a living nightmare, modeled almost exactly after a real cathedral's layout and stained glass. Producers didn't anticipate that the Landmark's legal team would take issue with the resemblance. Just days before shooting, lawyers threatened to shut the production down entirely, citing copyright infringement and potential damages. The crew scrambled, making last-minute changes to props, angles, and lighting while maintaining the set's claustrophobic, haunted aesthetic. Ironically, these tweaks enhanced the terror. Shadowy corners and warped perspectives made the environment feel more otherworldly than the original design. Actors reported genuine unease while performing on set, adding authenticity to their fear on camera. The incident reinforced Carpenter's mantra: chaos, risk, and ingenuity often produce the most compelling horror. A near lawsuit transformed the set into a more terrifying masterpiece. Shocking Secret 6: A star's first villainous appearance. Before he became a household name, one of Hollywood's future icons made his early mark in Prince of Darkness as a terrifying shotgun-wielding thug. The role was small, but explosive. Every line delivered with raw intensity that sent chills down the spine. The cast remembers the set going silent whenever he entered a scene. His presence demanded attention. Carpenter deliberately cast him in this minor but unforgettable role to inject a sense of real-world danger into the supernatural chaos. This early performance hinted at the powerhouse career ahead, blending menace, charisma, and screen dominance in a few short minutes. Today, fans can spot him instantly, marveling at how a tiny part became an unforgettable introduction to a legend in the making. A short scene gave birth to one of Hollywood's most iconic villains. Shocking Secret 7: The actor who threatened murder to land a role. John Amos didn't audition for the film, he made one phone call. Legend has it, he joked to producers, "Try to keep me out of this movie. I'll kill you." The bold quip worked. They cast him immediately. Amos brought a perfect mix of authority, gruffness, and subtle humor to the role of Cleo McDowell, grounding the film in a human, believable tension. His presence on set commanded respect, and he elevated every scene he touched. That audacious, borderline terrifying approach made his character instantly memorable. Crew members still recall his booming voice filling the studio, creating a palpable energy that the cameras couldn't capture fully. Sometimes all it takes is a bold joke to steal the show. Shocking Secret 8: The silent cameo that launched a career. Before shouting, "Show me the money," or winning an Oscar, Cuba Gooding Jr. appeared in a blink-and-you'll-miss-it role. Sitting silently in a barber's chair, he received a trim from Murphy in full old man makeup. No lines, barely a reaction, but this tiny cameo placed him in front of major Hollywood players and marked the start of an unstoppable career. Directors later recalled spotting raw talent even in that fleeting moment, a quiet charisma that promised big things. Fans love rewatches, pointing out the teenager who would go on to dominate the 90s film scene. What seems like a throwaway shot became a career-defining stepping stone. A silent haircut planted the seed of a Hollywood career. Shocking Secret 9. The character inspired by real-life family. Eddie Murphy's Saul the Barber wasn't entirely fictional. Makeup legend Rick Baker based the character's appearance, voice, and mannerisms on his own father-in-law. Even the close-up shots of Saul's hands weren't Murphy's. They belonged to Baker's relative. This personal touch added astonishing realism to the transformation, making it believable that Murphy was a frail old man in every scene. The detail was so convincing that audiences didn't realize it was Murphy under prosthetics. Baker called it one of the most challenging and rewarding parts of the film, turning family inspiration into cinematic gold. A real-life family member became the blueprint for one of comedy's greatest transformations. Shocking Secret 10. The secret connection to a classic comedy. If you blink, you'll miss one of the wildest Easter eggs in Prince of Darkness, a subtle nod to Carpenter's earlier work. In a fleeting street scene, two homeless men appear, shocked and grateful. Those men are actually characters from a previous film, creating an unofficial crossover in the same cinematic universe. The gag added layers for fans who recognized the characters and rewarded attentive viewers with a hidden tie to Carpenter's legacy. That brief, clever inclusion elevated the world-building and made the film feel like part of a larger mythos, bridging horror and comedy in an unexpected twist. A blink and you miss it cameo secretly links the film to a previous classic. Shocking Secret 11. The legendary mic drop that was improvised. One of the film's most iconic comedy horror moments, the infamous mic drop, wasn't in the script. Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall improvised it on the spot while filming a chaotic nightclub scene. Randy Watson finishes singing a horribly butchered version of The Greatest Love of All and casually drops the microphone as if he'd conquered Madison Square Garden. Crew members erupted with laughter behind the camera, knowing they had just captured pure cinematic magic. That spontaneous act went on to influence pop culture, becoming one of the earliest on-screen mic drops and inspiring generations of comedians, musicians, and viral content creators. Murphy later admitted that improvisation was crucial on this film, blending chaos with humor to produce moments that would live forever. One spontaneous mic drop became a cultural milestone. Shocking Secret 12. Over 40 custom teeth. The makeup madness. Legendary makeup artist Rick Baker didn't just create prosthetics. He crafted over 40 sets of custom teeth for Murphy and Hall's multiple characters. Each set reflected the personality of the character: crooked, worn, grotesque, or exaggerated. Randy Watson's crooked grin, Saul's aged dentures, and other bizarre dental choices brought the characters to life in subtle, unforgettable ways. Baker's attention to detail meant the actors could fully inhabit their roles, changing speech patterns and expressions to match each unique mouth. This obsessive level of craftsmanship ensured that the transformations felt real, not cartoonish, enhancing the suspension of disbelief and immersing audiences in the film's twisted, comedic world. Custom teeth turned wild characters into believable legends. Shocking Secret 13. The barbershop line that changed film history. One of the most quoted lines in the movie wasn't scripted. During a heated barbershop debate, Murphy, playing Clarence, improvised. "I ain't saying Clay ain't bad. I just stopped liking Cash Clay. Want to change the name to Muhammad Ali? What kind of is that?" The crew burst into laughter, and the line stayed. It captured Murphy's genius for weaving humor, cultural commentary, and characters seamlessly, transforming a small scene into an iconic cinematic moment. That one improvisation became legendary, inspiring countless references in pop culture and cementing the barbershop as one of the most memorable settings in comedy history. A single improvised line became an immortal film quote. Shocking Secret 14. The nightclub transformation that terrified his mom. One of Hall's wildest performances came in full drag as a flirtatious, over-the-top woman in the nightclub sequence. The transformation was so convincing that even his own mother didn't recognize him at first and was reportedly horrified. Hall relished the shock value, knowing the unsettling aura added a layer of tension and comedy to the scene. This performance blurred lines between humor and uncanny terror, demonstrating the power of makeup, acting, and improvisation to create unforgettable moments. The scene stands out as a testament to Hall's commitment to fearless, boundary-pushing performance art. A single character terrified his own family while stealing the scene. Shocking Secret 15. Costumes from 30 years ago still reign supreme. For the 2021 sequel, costume designer Ruth E. Carter didn't start from scratch. She dug into storage to restore original outfits worn by Murphy, Hall, and James Earl Jones. The gold embroidery, custom prints, and royal robes from 1988 were carefully updated but retained their classic elegance. This continuity preserved the essence of Zamunda fashion and honored the legacy of the original film. Fans and actors alike marveled that decades-old garments could still evoke royalty on screen. It wasn't just nostalgia. It was proof that timeless design, craftsmanship, and vision endure across generations. 3 decades later, Zamunda's royal wardrobe still dominates the screen. Shocking Secret 16. The music legend behind a fake 80s anthem. The unforgettable Soul Glow jingle wasn't just a parody. It was crafted by Nile Rodgers, the music legend behind hits like Le Freak and Good Times. Rodgers deliberately created an over-the-top 80s hair commercial sound, combining cheesy vocals, dramatic falsetto, and exaggerated instrumentation. The actor performing it, Christopher Max, nailed every note, making the fake product feel real. Audiences were convinced Soul Glow was an actual brand, and the scene's energy elevated the comedy to new heights. Rodgers later called it one of the most fun projects of his career, a few seconds of screen time that became a lasting cultural moment. A tiny jingle became a legendary cinematic gag. Shocking Secret 17. The guerrilla filming stunt they couldn't risk. When filming Prince Akeem and Semi at the Waldorf Hotel, the crew didn't have full permission to shoot inside. They executed a high-stakes, guerrilla-style setup, rolling cameras quickly, capturing the grandeur, and exiting before security intervened. The risk was enormous. A shutdown or arrest could have ruined the production. But the resulting footage added realism and opulence to Akeem's first steps in America. The tension behind the camera mirrored the tension on screen, making the scene feel authentic, urgent, and larger than life. Sometimes, the best cinematic magic comes from breaking the rules. Shocking Secret 18. Why working with the director turned sour. Eddie Murphy hoped to recapture the magic of Trading Places by reuniting with director John Landis. But the dynamic had shifted. Murphy was now a megastar, and Landis treated him like the new kid again. Tension grew on set, and clashes were frequent, making the atmosphere uncomfortable. Despite this, Murphy delivered one of his most memorable performances, balancing humor, charm, and subtle menace. Their professional relationship survived the shoot, but the friendship never recovered fully, and trust was never quite rebuilt in later projects. Fame shifted the power, turning a reunion into a battlefield. Shocking Secret 19. McDowell's became real for one magical weekend. In 2017, decades after the film's release, a Chicago restaurant teamed up with a marketing agency to transform into a real-life McDowell's pop-up. Fans lined up for Big Mix, sexual chocolate shakes, and Zamundan decor. Staff wore authentic McDowell's uniforms, and the event recreated the film's humor and nostalgia. Even Eddie Murphy approved, laughing at the homage. What started as a fictional parody finally existed in reality, allowing fans to step into the world of Zamunda, if only for a weekend. A fictional fast food joint became a real-life cultural phenomenon. Shocking secret. 20 from box office hit to national treasure. In 2021, Prince of Darkness, Coming to America, was preserved in the U.S. National Film Registry. The Library of Congress recognized it as culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. This honor cemented the film's legacy. Murphy's royal comedy, McDowell's, Randy Watson, and all officially became part of America's permanent cultural record. The film transcended box office success, breaking barriers in comedy and representation while influencing generations of filmmakers and fans alike. A cult classic officially became cinematic royalty. Prince of Darkness wasn't just a horror film. It was a collision of cosmic terror, creative clashes, and on-set chaos that left its mark on everyone involved. Beneath the robed cultists, mysterious cylinders, and otherworldly evil was a story about curiosity, fear, and the dangers of unlocking what should remain hidden. If any of these secrets shocked you, drop your favorite one in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more revelations from the films that scared, baffled, and fascinated audiences. Remember, some doors were never meant to be opened.